let them go. They keep stopping me from going where I'm supposed to go. I don't know, it's like every single time, bitch, you running through my mind. I be locked and loaded.
Good morning to you, everybody. Hope you're doing good. Got in here, ended up working a little bit last night, so till about 1:30 or so. Writing down some goals, been pretty contemplative as of late, thinking about what I want to accomplish. So I was just writing about some of the random ones, right, that would love to have my own clothing line of Sherm suits, French cuff shirts, funky socks, have my own line of protein shake powder. I do actually know a whey protein provider, and then own a hotel. I like to own a hotel so that way I could live in it, kind of like Monopoly. And then after that, it was what were some of the random ones that I wrote down? I want to get the house in order by 45. So I have 5 years to just run at this thing like nobody's business. So that's kind of the goal, is to be able to get that going here. That's the way you do it. It's just to put it in there. Have a little bit of show. Matches. There you go. That looks a little wonky though. Let's get in there. I'm trying to leave it a little bit loose, so I'm getting what I call meatballs from the old wear and tear on the shirt. So let's go make it a good one. Woo! Just a real quick recap. You can hear in the background listening to a conference call. Megan's here, listening to Carla, and had a great meeting with the Houston West Chamber. So thought I'd show you that sometimes you're just sitting listening. That's basically what we're doing today at this call right now. All right, everybody. Hope you're doing good. Late night, about 6:45. Can finally head out here. Had a good coaching session, talk about marketing. Just breaking it down, the marketing from niche marketing, focusing in on where you want to end up working with, and then blue ocean marketing strategies, focusing in on typically people, not niche marketing, they want to go after anybody that's going to basically listen to them, want to be able to do business with them. And that can be at the detriment, right? Because not everybody should be a client. That's just how it is. You want to know the kind of unique value that you can bring to the table. Next is, we talked about some digital marketing strategies, email blasts, being able to make sure that you have social media presence, and then looking at different organizations and associations. Do they align with that niche? And then after that, what were the other marketing ideas? Oh, current clients, what are you doing from a segmentation standpoint, adding a lot of value to them? Niche, associations, organizations, centers of influence, your network, leveraging them in a proper fashion so that way it's not helter-skelter. And so that was with Max 101, and then we scheduled some time to do some other training one-on-one, to do some role play of language. Megan and I were able to crank out the podcast end of the day as well. Talked about about dream casting, vision boarding, and making sure that you're putting down and having a go at different things that on the outset might not make sense, but would do as you go about pursuing something and seeing what can come out of that. And it was, it was just a great conversation just to be able to talk through things. And I think a lot of times what holds us back is the belief that if we have to go about it, it's got to be all in. And sometimes it's okay to do a little bit here, a little bit there, and see how we can continue to move things along. And just by putting those things out there, seeing what good things can come out of the different conversations that we're having with others, and keeping our mind around opportunities that might arise, and then taking action, making those phone calls, shooting out those emails. So time to head home. Hope you're all doing great. It's about 6:45. Let's go. to mention I had lunch at the Houston West Chamber of Commerce with Megan. She and I met with Corina and Devyn to talk about brainstorming to revamp the young professionals, the West Houston Young Professionals group here, and talking about making kind of like a curriculum. They had met with some people, and one of the things that came up was to do a survey to be able to identify what people want as young professionals. And I was like, let me guess who suggested that. Somebody that was like 45 and older, someone like my age and older, even though I'm 40. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, the problem with surveys is that we're surveyed to death, and who you're going to get responses back are all the people that are already outgoing and already doing something at the chamber. And so what we want people that are doing something different, and we want to create something different. And so by doing a survey, I think won't lend itself very useful. It's just a waste of time. Plus, Devyn, Megan, Corina, they're all in that demographic of 22 to 35, and so they know what they want, and so kind of create it from that perspective. And so, in a sense, make advocates and ambassadors out of those that attend, and that can really start moving people in the right direction to really find out who do we want, or what do we want the organization to do. So we started with the end in mind, vision, mission, what does that look like? And then they're going to start creating some monthly activities around that. And I said also just leverage what's already going on, right? So you don't want to cannibalize, so you're stealing attendees to your events from other events because they're like, hey, I'd rather go to the Young Professionals event. At the same time, when you're in 22 to 35, you're focused a little bit differently on your career than you are if you're 40 and up. And so, plus at 40, you might not necessarily feel as young in the career as you once did. So a lot of value there, and being able to make sure that there is kind of a cutoff. Not there's anything wrong with it, it's just that you're focused on something different when you're newer in your career versus they're a little bit older and have some experience and some seasoning, maybe even seasoning in their hair. Might go a little bit white from experience. So it was a great conversation, and that was like from 11:30 to 12:45. And you obviously saw that I was there on the call with for the team. And so, lots to get done. I just fell behind all day. I started working on some of the stuff last night, and so I just felt like I was always just playing catch up today. So, I feel good though. Felt like I got everything done. I need to make one more phone call here on the way home, and then we'll call it a day. Sherman's out.
Meant to be true to you, a legend in the making, make the best of every moment, cause nothing lasts forever, but forever I'll be focused on the now, never, this my testimony, yeah, that's my testimony, yeah, I'm about to take all of you out, nobody safe, you're playing it safe.